Join us. You join Earth's mightiest heroes. Not today, sir.
Are you making your voice deeper?
No.
Hey everyone, Greg here. I think I've finally recovered from Avengers Infinity War, so today we're going to take a look at all the Easter eggs that we found in the film. But first, subscribe because we have a bunch of new Infinity War videos on the channel and TV breakdowns on Season 2 of Westworld and Legion. Okay, right off the bat, Loki's line to Thanos is a direct callback to Tony's line that he gives to Loki in the original Avengers film.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
Unfortunately, Hulk gets his ass handed to him this time around. Heimdall saved Hulk by sending him to Earth, and he crash-landed on the staircase of the Sanctum Sanctorum. In the comics, it was actually the Silver Surfer that crash-landed and warned Doctor Strange of Thanos' arrival. Next up, Tony and Pepper are planning their wedding, and Tony talks to Pepper about a dream he had where he had a son named Morgan that was named after Pepper's uncle. Now, comic fans will love this nod to Tony's comic book evil cousin, Morgan Stark. Tony follows Doctor Strange back to the Sanctum Sanctorum and makes himself at home. At one point, he leans up against the Cauldron of Cosmos.
You could destroy life on a scale hitherto undreamt of.
Did you seriously just say hitherto undreamt
Are
of?
you seriously leaning on the cauldron of the cosmos?
In the books, Strange uses the Cauldron to look into the past and alternate timelines. Okay, now this is possibly my favorite Stan Lee cameo. He's driving the school bus with Spider-Man on it and is shocked that the kids are freaking out over a spaceship. It's up there for me with his cameo in Spider-Man 3.
You know, I guess one person can make a difference. Enough said.
When Ma brings Strange to a ship and tortures him, it's very close to the comics where Strange is actually imprisoned by Ma in his own mind and tortured in a strikingly similar way. In the film, Vormir was the home to the Soul Stone, but in the comics, it's a relatively backwater planet in one of the many arms of the Kree Empire, populated by lizard-like Vorms who apparently have either all died off or pieced out for the MCU incarnation. The last time we saw Red Skull, he was zapped out of existence by the Space Stone, or so we thought. He was actually transported to Vormir, where he was this Grim Reaper, death-like protector for the Soul Stone. And while Red Skull is back, Hugo Weaving is not. The role was played by Ross Marquand this time around. When Thanos gets a hold of the Reality Stone, he puts it to good use on a charging Drax and Mantis. Drax is turned into a heap of cube-shaped stones, and Mantis is unfolded into a spool of ribbon. This was a direct call-out to the fates of Nebula and Star Fox in the original Infinity Gauntlet comics miniseries. Spidey's awesome new Avengers suit that we saw at the end of Homecoming makes his grand debut in Infinity War, which we knew was coming since the first trailer. In the trailer, however, they took the legs off the suit, which made the reveal that much cooler when you see it in the film. To replace his lost hammer Mjolnir, Thor, Groot, and Rocket travel to a place called Nidavellir, which is home to an ancient and magical forge built around the heart of a dying star. Nidavellir is actually one of the 9 realms of Marvel's Norse mythology, recast for the MCU to actually be a totally independent planet/space station rather than some sort of alternate dimension. It's home to the dwarves that forged weapons for themselves and their allies. Stormbreaker is a reference to the hammer that Odin had Eitri forge for Beta Ray Bill when the alien proved that he was worthy of wielding Mjolnir. So Odin decided to basically introduce a second Mjolnir with Stormbreaker. The big difference here is that Groot lends a literal hand in order to make Thor's new weapon in the film. Okay, let's break this up with some fun pop culture references. Let's start with Tony Stark's insult to Ebony Maw. If you watch the English dub, Stark calls Maw Squidward, a nod to SpongeBob. But for those who watched the French dub of Infinity War, the insult was changed to call Maw Lord Voldemort, the Harry Potter villain. Doctor Strange puts a spell in the Eye of Agamotto so that Maw couldn't grab it. He tries and gets his hands burned, which reminds us a whole lot of Raiders of the Lost Ark. So according to Mantis, Kevin Bacon is one of Earth's mightiest heroes. What makes this joke even funnier is Star-Lord's affection for Footloose starring none other than Kevin Bacon. It sounds like he made the Guardians watch a lot of Bacon films. The Russo brothers directed a handful of episodes of Arrested Development, so they had to sneak a few Easter eggs in these films. In Civil War, it was the staircase truck, but in Infinity War, they included a blue man with a mustache and glasses. An obvious nod to Tobias' obsession with joining the Blue Man group. It's a quick shot when the Guardians come across Thanos in nowhere.
I feel like a idiot.
Star-Lord also references Grimace, obviously from the McDonald's extended universe, when he first comes face to face with Thanos. When Thanos tries to get the Collector to hand over the Reality Stone, he tells him, "Where's the stone?" Now, many believe this could be a slight homage to the 2000 film Snatch. In the movie, Frankie Four Fingers, played by Del Toro, and his gang break into a diamond company while dressed as Hasidic Jews, and Frankie keeps asking people, where's the stone?
Where is the stone?
Now, Thanos uses the Reality Stone multiple times throughout the film to turn the Guardians' weapons into nothing more than toys with bubbles. In Marvel vs. Capcom 2, New Age of Heroes, Thanos' attacks end with little bubbles coming out of him. Thanos might love his adopted daughter Gamora, but he's a little bit harsher on Nebula. In the movie, he has her disassembled and hanging like a museum exhibit, while in the comics, he turned her into a brain-dead space zombie. Thanos is a horrible dad. Now, this is probably as close as we're ever going to get to the Nomad storyline in the MCU. While he's never called Nomad by name, Cap has been spending the last 2 years operating as a fugitive superhero with the help of Sam Wilson, Black Widow, and Scarlet Witch. Plus, he ditched the blue and red stars and stripes look. Teen Groot spends the majority of the movie playing Defenders, which could be a very slight callback to Marvel's Defenders, which includes Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage. And here's a live look at Jessica Jones during Thanos' attack on New York. Now, when Doctor Strange goes one-on-one with Thanos on Titan, he uses 2 powers pulled straight from the comics. First, Strange uses the images of Icon and is able to suddenly create countless copies of himself. And second, he summons the Crimson Bands of Kittorak, which he uses to wrap up Thanos. They look super cool, but unfortunately, Thanos is too damn strong. After Thanos rewinds time and rips the Mind Stone from Vision's forehead, he turns color and lifeless. And that's eerily similar to how Vision looked in the books, his actual most familiar uniform when he was a member of the West Coast Avengers. Okay, now what about that shot of Thanos and Gamora on that orange world? After the snap, it looked like Thanos was transported to Soul World, which is the entire dimension inside of the Soul Stone. It's like a heaven that keeps all the souls that it's absorbed by the Infinity Stone in a paradise for eternity. That also means that there's a very good chance to resurrect our fallen heroes. Thanos' final moments in the film show him living out his own prophetic wishes. He wanted to watch the sun rise on a universe grateful for his accomplishments. This moment is actually borrowed and repurposed from the Infinity Gauntlet miniseries, where Thanos becomes a humble farmer after having his eyes open to the truth of his endless quest to woo Mistress Death. Thanks for watching, everybody. Now you can head over to GameSpot and check out our full list of Easter eggs right now, and let me know in the comment section what your favorite Easter eggs and moments are. And until next time, I'll see you all later. R.I.P. Xandar, justice for Xandar, Wakanda forever.